Hello, true believers, and welcome to, I think it's our 22nd episode.
I think you're right.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. This episode is entitled, This is the Dawning of the Age of Ultron / Let the Ant-Man In. I'm actually quite proud of that.
How much drugs, did that take for you to come up with?
A couple drugs, A couple drugs. Nothing serious, just some shrooms and some pot,
Nice.
Sort of thing.
Nice.
But it might be the best title ever, except for the other one is the episode that we titled Sweet Scott Summers Badass Song.
I did like that one a lot.
Yeah, no one else did because it got the worst views, but whatever.
What do people know?
Sweet back. All right.
Well, I think we're going to start off with some breaking news.
Yes, breaking news
in the comic world.
Already.
Yes.
But
breaking
news.
I don't know why I did that. Sorry, that was annoying.
Apparently, they have announced the new Batman.
Yes.
Superman Batman movie.
And I'm pretty sure everyone that is listening to this knows who it is.
If you don't know,
shame on you.
Makes sense.
Shame on you.
Have like 12 viewers.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I know each and every one of them know who it is because they're listening to a podcast about comic books, and it has been Affleck. And a lot of people are upset.
A lot of people.
There's
been a lot of tears and bloodshed over this.
I'm gonna go with your reaction first, James.
My reaction?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Let's go with the good. Let's go with the good.
Honestly, he's a good actor. I mean, he is, and he has always garnished a lot of baggage. I think it started with Jennifer Lopez, and I don't know why, but
because she's Latina.
Well, maybe, but even back then, people hated him, and probably because he was in the spotlight rubbing her wonderful ass. Maybe that's it. Maybe everyone is like, God damn it, I wish I was.
I agree with you. The good, he's a good actor. The past couple of movies, he's done really good. Yeah. The Town and Argo. I read a report not too long ago why this is a good decision, because he brings people into the movies.
Yeah,
and the past couple of movies have proved that.
Yeah.
No matter what, this movie's going to make money because it's going to be the first Batman and Superman. Mm-hmm. No matter what, people love it or hate it, you're going to go probably see this movie.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. And the fact that it's been Affleck and that we haven't seen what he looks like yet, we don't know what the suit's going to look like, we don't know what the premise is yet. And I think it's kind of quick to judge. Now, granted, we'll get to that in a second, but I think money-wise, this is probably a good decision to make.
Yeah, I would agree.
For money,
probably.
Yeah.
I mean, now if he does bad, that could hurt any chance of him being in a sequel. But you'd think that. But we're this generation of moviegoers are like sheep. Like, you just show us something and we'll go see it.
Oh yeah,
I'm guilty of that too.
You're guilty of going to see it more than once.
Well,
let's go with the bad.
The bad is the baggage. Ben Affleck does carry a lot of baggage, and I don't think that's necessarily his fault. Let's face it, he's already been a superhero.
Right.
Honestly, and actually, this can also be kind of good. This can go both ways. He's already basically played Batman. He's played a guy who was blind as a bat. Same thing. But, that movie wasn't good. Now, was he bad in that movie? No. I didn't. You thought it was bad?
That was going to be my bad, is Daredevil.
It's a bad movie.
Yeah. I didn't like it. He seemed too boxy in it.
Yeah.
He seemed, and maybe it was the way it was shot or what. I don't know, but I didn't like the movie. Yeah.
Well, what always cracks me up, this doesn't crack me up, but what always happens is I'll start thinking, well, Daredevil, it's a bad movie, but it wasn't that bad. And then, like, as soon as I think that, like, that split second, I'll be reminded of the playground scene where he fights with Jennifer Garner, and I'm like, no, that movie was bad.
Yeah, and
that's a really bad
his
movie.
haircut bugged me, his face bugged me, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, his giant chin.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Now you brought up, he was he was Daredevil. Now he's going to be Batman. Chris Evans was Johnny Storm, and now he's Captain America, and he's a great Captain America. So there might be hope.
Here is the thing, though, and there is a difference. Not much of a difference, but there is a difference. As bad as the Fantastic Four movies, I remember watching them and saying, well, I like the guy who played Human Torch.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he was good.
That was good casting.
In a bad movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you said, with Ben Affleck, it's kind of iffy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not going to say it was bad, but I don't know. But yeah, there is a big difference there. Another actor who's double dipped in the superhero realm.
Who? I'm drawing a blank. Oh, it's a girl?
Halle Berry.
Ah.
And, honestly, thank God for her that she played Storm before she played Catwoman, because if she played, like, honestly, if it weren't for that, that could have killed her career. That could have been a career killer.
Oh, yeah.
That movie was horrendous. Like, we can complain about Fantastic Four and Daredevil till the cows come home.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, it doesn't hold a candle to Catwoman. I mean, Catwoman is Mystery Science Theater bad.
Yes,
like, it is
exactly.
So bad. I mean, it's just, it makes your skin crawl.
I don't think I've ever sat through the whole thing.
I saw it in theaters.
Did you watch, like, Citizen Kane afterwards? You had to get those out of your head?
Yeah, I had to take a Citizen Kane bath.
To kind of wrap up my 3-question thing, what's your final hope?
My final hope?
For the new, since the announcement of Ben Affleck being Batman.
Oh.
Do you have any hopes? Dreams? Is that a deep question?
Honestly, this whole... And it's not even Ben Affleck. This whole Batman Superman thing is really just not getting me that excited.
Yeah. It's sad because Batman is my favorite superhero. Yeah. And another bad thing is that it's more about Ben Affleck now than it is about Batman.
It's more about Ben Affleck than it is about Superman.
Right,
it's supposed to be a Superman sequel.
Exactly. I mean, Batman could be in the movie for 5 minutes for all we know.
Yeah.
Because it's a Superman sequel. And who knows what's going to take place in it, but
there's other issues that I like. I mean, first off, I know I might be the only one out there, but I really liked the Dark Knight movies. I know no one else did.
I did.
I'm kidding.
Oh, you dork.
But it's like, I kind of wanted to see, like, it's nice that you wrapped up that story, but as soon as you wrap it up 2 years later, and as far as we know, this has nothing to do with those.
Right.
This could be a reboot. Like, I'm not sure if it is or not.
I hope not.
I hope not, too, because if it is a reboot, it's like 2 years after you wrap it up, it's like, why can't we just watch a different movie?
Yeah.
Like, that's how I felt with Amazing Spider-Man, is that, and, I didn't think that was a terrible movie. It wasn't good enough for me to buy.
Yeah.
But it's like, why can't we watch something else? Like, is our attention span that short now that we just have to watch a remake of a movie 2 years later?
Right.
I mean, it's kind of getting out of hand. I mean, let's let it go and watch something new.
Right. My hope is that this does not kill Batman, that it's so bad that they don't do another Batman for another 10 years or whatever. What I would like to see are just like comic book movies, nothing epic. It's kind of like Wolverine. Mm-hmm. It was like you were like watching a comic book.
Yeah,
there was a nice story. There was some cool action scenes. I'd like to see more of that in the comic book movies because everything is so epic where they have to destroy a whole city. I would like to see a Batman movie where he fights crime. He's jumping from building to building and, punching evil in its face. And
that's how the first two Batmans were. Yeah. I mean, I know this second one was epic, but still, But
still, even the second one is, they did kill off a major character, but still, it was still a good story with a lot of action and good acting.
Whereas then you get to the third Batman, and like the whole city is under siege by a bunch of terrorists for 3 months, and there's a nuclear warfare, and it's like, what the hell is going on? Like, this doesn't.
It was too epic.
It's too much.
Yeah.
And Superman, good God,
that was just huge.
Too much.
I do agree with you. I would like to see the Man of Steel again. We've been through that, so I won't waste our viewers' time.
I mean, that's the thing. One thing I do want to point out is, like, sometimes when you debate or talk about things and you stick a microphone in front of an idiot, like, sometimes it sounds like we're, especially I'm bad about this, sometimes it sounds
horrible.
Like we're being negative, but I still liked all 4 of those big movies that I've seen this summer. Like, I still liked all of them. But, I like to nitpick on occasion, but they're better movies than I could make.
I think I'm grateful. Well, yeah, but I'm grateful to just be getting comic book movies and that they are churning them out, and that there are people that like us that are making them.
And let's not forget, we can complain about Dark Knight Rises or Man of Steel all we want, but 10 years ago, we had Daredevil and Fantastic Four. And 10 years before that, we had Batman and Robin, which made Daredevil look like a masterpiece.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like, how much can we really complain? Like, oh, this movie's not quite amazing enough.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And that's why I'm excited for Ant-Man, and we'll talk about that, I think.
I think we will, yeah.
When?
That is the
when do you want to do
title of the show.
Ant-Man's in it.
Ant-Man. Do you have anything else to say about Batman?
I just
Ben Affleck.
I'm going to give it a chance and hope for the best.
Didn't Joseph Gordon-Levitt? I think I read on.
He gave him some bad advice.
Yeah. What was it? Where did I read that on? It was something. The internet.
How can he give him advice?
Wasn't he like? Didn't they ask him like what he thought, and he was like, "Motherfucking Ben Affleck." I think that was his quote.
Yeah.
Motherfucking Ben Affleck.
Well,
it should have been me.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's too small, and I think that would have pissed everyone off.
And Ben Affleck didn't.
Well, I'm just saying, he would have to change his name to. It would have been a cluster.
It is weird though how they set it up for like a Robin series, and they're like, "Nah, we're not going to do that.
It.
Sorry."
I would like to see. I think it'd be cool if we saw a Nightwing series.
Yeah, well,
come out of that. That would. I'm totally down with that.
It doesn't seem like we're getting that anytime soon.
Yeah, no. I would like to see that though. If any director out there is listening to this right now, I would like to see a Nightwing series. I think that would do great.
Okay.
And thank you. Now, my final hope is that I'm going to give it a shot, and I hope for the best.
All right.
Look at it with positive eyes.
I'm glad to hear it.
If you can't tell, we are stalling to get stuff ready.
Yeah, the internet is slow.
Man.
All right, well, let's talk about Ultron.
Yes.
Do you know who Ultron is?
I know of him, and that there's going to be a movie made, and he is in it.
Yes. That's all you need to know. No, Ultron,
we'll end it there. No.
Ultron is probably one of the Avengers' biggest villains. He was created by... Well, first off, he first appeared in Avengers it was a cameo appearance in number 54, and then his full-fledged appearance was in number 55, where he was, and I'm not making this up, he was disguised as the Crimson Cowl or something like that. Like, he was like dressed up as a guy, and then at the end he takes off his mask and he's like, "I'm not the Crimson Cowl, I'm a horrifying robot
named Ultron." Oh, wait a sec, who's that? No.
Yeah, I know. It's like, okay.
Something just struck me. Is who are in the Avengers? I'm thinking, was it Captain America, Thor, Iron Man?
Not
Hulk?
at this time.
No,
they were gone. I think even See, in issue 6, and eventually we will do a special on issue 16.
Okay.
Issue 16, Hulk had already left, and then in this one, Iron Man, Thor, Giant Man, and Wasp all leave, or Ant-Man, whatever you want to call them. They all leave, and Captain America brings in the new Avengers, which are Hawkeye, Quicksilver, and Scarlet Witch. And then for a while, it was just those four.
Okay.
And then, like, characters came and went. Like, I think when this story with Ultron came out, I think the lineup was Ant-Man and Wasp were back, Black Panther, Hawkeye, I'm not sure. I think Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch were gone.
I was just saying,
I think Captain America was gone too at this point.
Like, I'm done.
This lineup just like is crazy. Like, it just.
Well, I was just gonna say, how big of a badass is he? If it takes, I didn't realize Thor and all them were not in it.
But he fights them eventually.
Right. But he must be a pretty big badass if he can fight them all, and he's hard to handle.
Yeah, and
too cold to hold.
And actually, something interesting about his very first appearance. I know. I don't know if we were talking about this. We might have been talking about it on this Scott McMullen show, but there. But there was a somebody. People are theorizing, and everyone has theories, just like they have other things.
Yeah.
But, people are theorizing that, like, Jarvis could become Ultron or something, or he's corrupted
Vision.
by Ultron.
Vision.
I thought people were saying that Jarvis becomes corrupted by Ultron.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of someone else. I'm sorry.
You're thinking of
Agent Coulson.
Agent Coulson.
Yeah,
being
sorry.
Vision, yeah. Which we'll get to Vision in a minute.
Okay.
They're related.
Oh.
But, yeah. But,
by blood?
well, robot blood.
No.
Yeah, actually. Sort of. But, the thing is, they're saying that he could become corrupted, which would actually be a really neat little reference to his first appearance where he kidnaps Jarvis. Now, in the comics, they took a lot of liberties with the movie, which is good, because what they did with Iron Man is that they really took in spite of his popularity, he wasn't, which wasn't great, but in spite of the popularity that he had, he really wasn't the most well-developed character, nor was his story the most well-developed in Marvel. Like, it was kind of I mean, with the few exceptions, like the Demon in the Bottle and the storyline where he's an alcoholic, and then that storyline where he and Doctor Doom go back in time and fight King Arthur or something. Like, other than those two stories, like, no one really knows like, at this point, Iron Man was
That's a whole other episode.
Yeah, Iron Man was kind of like not really that well developed. So in the movies, they made a lot of changes and really fleshed the character out. One of those changes was Jarvis being a computer. In the comics, he was a butler, which, if that sounds familiar, it's because it is. It's just like Alfred. Exactly like Alfred. In fact, he looked exactly like Alfred.
Maybe they were related.
No, I think he was just ripped off. So anyway, Ultron kidnaps Jarvis in his first appearance. So if he corrupts the computer Jarvis in the movie, that would be kind of
That's kind of cool, yeah.
Or it could not be a reference, but just a coincidence. But
yeah.
That would be neat.
That'd screw over Iron Man.
It would. Iron Man would be pissed.
This isn't working. Damn it.
So here's the story with Ultron. He was created by Henry Pym, or Ant-Man. And eventually he decides, humans are flawed, got to destroy all humans. Typical robot.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, just typical robot. But the thing about him, though, that becomes interesting is he actually, in spite of his superiority complex, he does, in fact, have emotions. He's an extremely emotional being, and he develops an Oedipus complex where he, with Hank Pym, he views Hank Pym as his father, to the point where, and they get a little bit heavy-handed here, a little obvious here, where he makes a bride based off of the Wasp's brainwaves and names her Jocasta. And it's like, okay, I get it. It's an Oedipus complex.
Lord Oedipus.
Yeah, do you have to be that obvious about it? Years later, it's revealed, I think in the 90s, it was revealed that he was actually also based off of Hank Pym's brainwaves. I didn't know that until I just read that. I thought that was always assumed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what brainwaves are and how you can base that onto a computer from the 1960s, I don't know.
Why didn't they use the Hulks? No.
You'd think. But so, so basically, aside from Jocasta, which I don't know much about that character, I think she's like the bride of Ultron, which, again, he's developed emotions. Like, he becomes more human, even though he views humans as inferior. He becomes more and more human.
What a jerk.
I know. What a dork. But, let's see. So basically, he also creates the Vision. The Vision is
an android.
Yeah, and he has the power to alter his density, so he can be really, really
dense.
heavy, or he can, really, really dense, or really not dense, and walk through walls. And it kind of doesn't make sense, but whatever. We'll go with it. But, so basically, Ant-Man begot Ultron, and Ultron begot Ant-Man. And
can I tell you something that's going to blow your mind?
Enough. Say it, Stanley. What's that?
Edgar Wright is not going to touch on that in his Ant-Man movie.
Yeah. That's also the joke behind my title, aside from making fun of the musical Hair. Let the sunshine in, let the Ant-Man in.
Yeah.
Let him in the Avengers movie.
Yeah, why not?
Get it?
And I think that's already ticked some people off. But
I don't know. Like,
people
they've done
are weird.
enough.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing with Ant-Man is he's such a lesser character that you can really, and they did this with Iron Man too. It's like I said, you can really reinvent the character. Right. I mean,
I think in the Avengers 2 movie, why not? They could probably do a flashback or something where he makes Ultron. Or
something.
So
the thing about Ultron though is he is, for a Marvel villain from the 1960s, he is actually pretty freaky looking.
Like
He's got this weird ant's head or something. Like it's like this horrifying visage. It's like the stuff made from nightmares. Like he's a comic book villain, he's really creepy looking.
It is scary.
Girl, whatever.
Whatevs.
So, and I don't know anything about the Age of Ultron storyline. Sorry.
And that just...
The only thing I know is that it's new. It
just came out. Yeah, it just came out, and that's one I didn't pick up. I don't know why. I get turned off by...
miniseries?
Sometimes.
I do too.
I like one-shoots, and it seems like... Because I tried to follow... And that's what turned me off from X-Men when I was a kid, and now...
God. Yeah.
And I'm glad I didn't hang with it, because... Then I'd be like Scott McMullen. And there's too much stuff going on in my head.
Too much useless. Yeah. Thank God we didn't turn out like Scott.
So I skipped on that, and then I tried to do it again with the Avengers versus X-Men, and then it just got crazy. And I was like, you know what?
Well,
I'm just gonna buy it when it comes out on a hard book.
Really bad about just like, let's just throw in every character in. We're not gonna follow their actual characteristics or personality, and they're gonna fight and do all this crap. And it's like, what is this?
Yeah.
What is this? It's just like Civil War.
Yeah, and it's not simple as like, okay, we're gonna start the issue from 55 to 65. No, it jumps around. In this Avengers versus X-Men, and then for the next issue, you have to go to Iron Man number 23, or the Hulk, Indestructible Hulk 7. It's like
I really don't.
When does that come out? And then they come out every other week, and I would get real frustrated with if I start following it. Some of those are sold out.
Yeah.
And I go to Prairie Dog, and they're usually pretty cool about if I miss something, they'll give it to me. They'll hold it back, or they'll order one for me, but if there's so many that's going to be like a 4-month ordeal, it's just like, I don't have the time or money to focus on it. I like, going up, like right now, DC is doing the Trinity War, and they're doing the same thing, but it's easy enough to follow along where you don't get lost. And there's not like, you're not getting 50 comic books every week.
Well, and even... what was it, Blackest Day and Brightest Night? Like, I mean, that was a big crossover, but you could still follow it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just the truth of the the truth of the matter is that right now, and I say right now, it's really been for like the past 20 years, DC has just been better than Marvel.
Right. I wish they were in the movies, but at the comic books, they know what they're doing.
The movies, they're like, we really don't know what we're doing.
It's throwing out. I don't know. Ben Affleck is Batman. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, because Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern worked out. So well.
Yeah. I just wish there was a guy that's like, okay, who picked Ryan Reynolds last? Okay, you're out this time. Apparently, they went with him again. I'm still a little disappointed.
About Ben Affleck.
Yeah, and probably for the wrong reasons.
Well, and also we did skip over one more reason, and I'll get back and let's kind of go back there. Is that it's always like this Henry Cavill guy, or whatever. He was really good. Yeah. And I'd never heard of him before, and that's cool. Yeah. You know, I mean, Christian Bale. Yeah, he'd been in some American
stuff.
Psycho and stuff, but he wasn't like a household name. Like, it's kind of nice to like use this as an opportunity to bring in some lesser known actors
that you can build off of.
Yeah,
and that you know. And here's the other thing is, let's say this one goes well, another Batman movie comes up. Oh wait, I'm directing this other movie.
Yeah,
I'm writing another one. So then that leaves us hanging. Now we got to pick another Batman.
We got to pick Matt Damon.
Yeah. The only good thing that's come out of this, all the Matt Damon jokes being Robin. That's the only good thing. Like everyone can agree upon. That's hilarious.
Well, and isn't there also just kind of a problem where we're not, like, in the back of your minds, you're not going to be seeing Batman. You're going to be seeing Matt Damon.
Yeah. Ben Affleck.
The other guy, yeah.
It's like with George Clooney.
Yeah.
George Clooney, it's like, that's George Clooney. That's not Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And that sounds really childish of me, but that's how that's how I'm going to go into it. That's how I view the movie.
That's how it works. I didn't see Green Lantern. I saw Ryan Reynolds.
Right. Trying to be Hal Jordan. And I think it's a safe bet if they... Even with Josh Brolin, I think it would have been a better pick because he has a proven track record.
Yeah.
Even minus Jonah Hex, of being a good actor.
But wasn't he good in that? I never saw that movie.
I haven't either. So I guess I shouldn't say that. But everyone, I think Megan Fox screwed that up. But I would like to see. My top pick was Carl Urban, the guy that did Judge Dredd, and he's very physical and stuff. Ben Affleck, it's just going to be Ben Affleck.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I would like to end on. I would pay to go see Ben Affleck as Batman and Matt Damon as Robin, only poking fun at the old '60s show.
Actually,
that would be
like a pretty good movie.
Yeah, they do all the campy crap. You get like all the.
Put Kevin Smith in there.
Yeah,
why not?
Kevin Smith
could be the Penguin.
Yeah, the Penguin. See, who do I need to call to get this started? Because that would be awesome. And they kind of like they redo the old Batman movie where all the villains are in it.
Yeah.
You get a Catwoman in there, and it'd just be funny. It'd be funny, campy. Why not?
Why not?
I'd pay to go see that.
I would too. Yeah. That sounds really good. Let's make it. We can make our own movie.
Let's do it. I'll call Kevin Smith.
Yeah, your friends, aren't you?
My friends. Oh, I'm going to call him right now.
Well, while you're doing that, we're going to look at this issue of Avengers. This is 57. This is, like I said...
Hello, Ultron Kevin? Yeah, I got an idea. I want to pitch you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Ultron first appeared in 54 and then 55, so he's been kind of a shadowy figure at this point. Mm-hmm. And look at this art, by the way. Look at this cover art.
It's pretty...
it's pretty dynamic.
Yeah, that's the word.
It's pretty awesome.
I was trying to think of a D word, but the only one that came to mind was drastic.
Oh.
I don't know what that... It doesn't even make sense, but yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Also, I'm looking at the lineup, and I guess for this one, those are the characters that I mentioned. I guess Captain America is gone. It's Hawkeye, Black Panther, Giant Man, and Wasp.
Giant. I like how you pronounce his name. Let's go with that from now on.
That's how I always pronounce it. He just added 2 letters to his name. He's like, I'm big now.
Now, in this one, the Vision... This is the old Vision where it's like his... go to the next page there. His costume is green.
Did they change the costume?
Yeah. I don't know when they changed it, but like he's all white or like a cream color.
What?
I think so.
When did they do that?
I don't know.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure that's right. We'll get emails letting me know I'm wrong, like we always do.
Okay, yeah, we always get tons of emails. Of course, people are always letting us know what we got wrong.
Like the Megadeth song that's not about the Punisher. Actually, we send ourselves an email.
Wikipedia, man. I'm sorry.
I know.
Wikipedia.
We covered our tracks. I saw
it.
it. I read it.
Wikipedia has
Covered our
never
tracks.
been wrong ever. But by the way, let's talk about his costume for a minute. He has an orange face and then green and yellow.
And he's an android.
That's a really strange color combination, by the way. The green and the orange. It's very bizarre.
Yes.
But he's a cool character. And oh god, he's coming through the wall. He's gonna attack Wasp.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. And oh, I'm gonna become Giant Man. This is interesting right here on page 6. Hawkeye and Black Widow are dating, and this is when Black Widow was wearing her Don Heck costume, which, by the way, Don Heck, I guess his thing was to always put the letter of their name on the costume, just so he would know who he's drawing it as. Because you've got Hawkeye has the H, she had a B,
which could have stood for bitch. Hey, look, kids, it's bitch. No, it's Black Widow. Stop it.
Well, even Hercules, which was in the last issue that we did. If you notice on his sash, there's an H.
Well, you don't want his brother
there was
to.
an H in the Greek language. Like they had their own alphabetical system.
Yeah. So someone's screwed up.
Yeah. So I think that was just I think it was just Don Heck. Like, who's this guy? Oh, H.
Oh heck.
That's Hercules.
Heck.
Oh crap! I've got Hercules and Hawkeye. Now I'll never know which one's which.
I'll put this one on his sash.
So, like,
It's raining.
It's raining, and
wet.
Black Panther, like, beats up some guys. It's pretty cool. And then they come back, and Vision has, like, passed out. And they're like, what is Vision? And they're looking at him, and Ant-Man says, he's an android. So...
Thanks,
then
Fish.
Android tells him that he remembers. This is also really... Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Going back to that page on page 6 with Hawkeye and Black Widow.
B.
There is...
You're a real B.
He comes in and he's like, what are you... This is really weird. He comes in and he's like, what are you doing in your costume and practicing? I thought you were done with all that. See, she works for S.H.I.E.L.D. Nick Fury. And he's like, I thought you quit all that. And she's like, why would I quit?
This is all I know.
This is what I do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And she's like, you go out and do your superhero gallivanting too. Why can't I? So there's a hint of women's lib going on in this. And
good catch.
It's kind of neat. Although, like, for the time, it was kind of neat. Although, looking at it now, it's like, man, Hawkeye, you're a real douche. Like, she could kick your ass.
I don't need no man.
I've seen Black Widow in the movie. She can kick his ass.
Well,
like, easy.
Yeah. He probably let her a little bit, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So anyway, we go back and Vision wakes up and he starts kicking everyone's butt, and then all of a sudden he's like, wait, I don't remember who he is. So then he just sits in the chair and starts trying to remember, and all the Avengers are like, what is he doing? Like he's just sitting there, and
his legs hurt.
He's like, oh, Ultron sent me to kill you. So then they go and they fight Ultron, and that's the gist of the story. He finds out that Ultron created him, yada yada yada. This is actually kind of neat, though. Like right here, on one of the last pages, after Vision kills Ultron, you see Ultron's head just on the ground outside.
Right.
And at this point, this kid walks up and he finds the head and picks it up, and they start writing over it the sonnet by Percy Shelley about Ozymandias, and it's kind of neat. Let's see if I can pull this up. It says, I met a traveler from an antique land who said, 2 vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip sneer of cold command. And while they say that, the panel of the kid is he's holding Ultron's head and just looking at it.
Yeah.
And then it goes on. Tell that its sculptor, while those passions read, which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them, and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look at my work. Look on my works, ye mighty in despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that old colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away. And while this is all, while the sonnet is going on, all the panels show the kid and he's like kicking the head
Playing
around.
soccer with it. Yeah.
And then he like is done with it and just throws it away. And I think that is like one of the neatest endings I've seen in these really
Very
old
prolific.
60s. Yeah, it's really neat. Usually these
kind of pompous.
a little pompous. Actually, it's very pompous. But you know, like these old '60s ones, like this is the later '60s. This is when they started getting a little more sophisticated, and they're starting to do some interesting stuff.
Very cool.
So let's see.
Interesting.
What I'm gonna do is I'm going to enlarge it. Talk about something, Enrique, while I'm getting this.
Well, the name of this, the letter section is Avengers Assemble.
Real original, guys.
Looks like there is mail here, but it doesn't look like there's reaction.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's scroll down. There might be.
No.
Oh, that's really weird. I think this is the first time we've seen this.
Stan's tired.
Stan, don't give a shit.
You know what, guys?
It's so hard to write these letters in the first place and pretend they're written by fans.
Well, we'll still write them because they're probably written by crazy people.
Yeah, go ahead and read them.
Okay, we'll go to the first one here. It says, Dear Stan, Roy, and John.
Oh, by the way, this is still John Buscema who drew the...
who you love.
Who I love. He drew the Thor issue that we did last time.
Oh, very cool. So it says, Dear Stan, Roy, and John, what's this? The faithful Jarvis, one of my all-time favorite supporting characters, a nasty supervillain? Is there nothing sacred anymore? Seriously, though, and Deliver Us from the Master's Evil was a great yarn. It kept me guessing from start to finish. Not only was I trying to figure out why Jarvis needed the money he was supposed to get from the Crimson Cow, I kept hoping that the Avengers had found out Charles was the whirlwind and that Jarvis was leading the evil masters into a trap. But I was trying to figure out the identity of the Crimson Cow. At first I thought it was the Grim Reaper. The last panel really shocked me. The story was great, although I did feel cheated at not seeing the Black Knight in action. You must give him his own strip in Marvel's Superheroes. The art was great as always. I'm trying to figure out how John can keep the fantastic pace he's working at. What with drawing the Submariner and the Silver Surfer too? Why not ease John's burden by letting George Tuska's tops when it comes to inking the pencil of George Tuska? Wait, did I skip a line?
You skipped a line.
Oh,
Tuska do on occasion.
A story. I'm sorry. Why not ease John's burden by letting George Tuska do an occasional story and let him ink his own work? Tuska's tops when it comes to inking the pencil of George Tuska, or anybody's pencils for that matter. Keep up the good work. Tony Isabella, and he's from Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah.
Weirdo.
God, you brown noser.
God. All right, here's the next one. Dear Stan, Roy, and... Oh, sorry. Dear Stan, Roy, and John. I'm delighted that now the Black Panther's duds are back to normal. Oh, they changed his costume for
I hate that.
2 issues.
Oh, even worse.
I really dig T'Challa, but I can't see him as the helpless hostage for some supervillain. Wow, that sounds terrible. I agree with this kid. I can't imagine that either. T'Challa is pretty awesome. T'Challa is the Black Panther. T'Challa. Please don't let that happen to him. No, John, you didn't escape the eyes of at least one of your FFFs. Me, FFF.
Fantastic Friends Forever.
I saw the Wasp on the cover with the wrong clothes on. If you guys can get out of that one, I'll eat my chicory. The Black Knight should have been able to answer that battle cry made by High Pockets on page 17 of Avengers number 55. The Avengers doesn't sound like a 4-person team's name to me. You might have to make him a little more worthy, though. Also, why don't you change his name? His costume has almost no black in it. And the only thing that makes him look like a knight are his horse and lance and his helmet, maybe. So why call him the Black Knight? Call him the Blue Horseman or anything other than the Black Knight. And if the Avengers sign up the Blue Horseman, I'll be ready for my no prize. So until I eat my chicory under my own free will, make mine Marvel. And that's from Kenwood Binjard from New York, New York.
What a dork.
All right.
All right, Kenwood Bernard. Jard. All right, the next one looks like it's from... Oh, it doesn't say. Oh, here we go. It says, just
Oh, just to stand.
This is to you, Stan. Open your ears. In issue number 49 of the Avengers, on page 14, panels 2 and 3, you show a bullet of a policeman's gun graze the temple of the Scarlet Witch. Immediately, Quicksilver rushes to her side and decides to join Magneto. Then at the end of issue 53, you show the Toad, Quicksilver, and the Scarlet Witch leaving the Avengers forever. Why don't you make Quicksilver find out that his sister's injury was caused by Magneto? Then Quicksilver will see the light and join the Avengers once more. Then there will be the strongest fighting, and then we're going to scroll up.
Okay.
Pause. Okay. Team again. And that's from Luis Padillo in Bronx, New York.
You know, Luis, don't you think that maybe that is the plan all along with this story, is that eventually they will find out that the villain was evil?
No, James.
How dare you?
Where do you get off, Stanley?
Dear Stan, Roy, and John, good morrow.
Here we go.
Oh, God, it's a college kid. Good morrow, oh great and learned patrons of Marvel. I just want to compliment you on ish 54 and 55 of the Avengers. Those are the Ultron stories.
Oh.
Both covers were great, except for a few details on the front of ish 55. How come Hawkeye has a real bow, a quiver? How come Hawkeye has a real bow, a quiver, no bowstring, and an exploding arrow? I don't know, kid. Just get a life.
Go flunk your class.
And also, why did Virulent Radioactive Man have on gloves? I know these are very insignificant flaws in someone's part, but I just thought I'd point them out. I've just got one more thing to ask. How come Whirlwind changes to that green costume? In astonished number 59, he said, and I quote, "I've learned not to wear that stupid costume, which made me too easy to recognize." That's
Wow.
pretty funny. I understand that he has to hide his identity as the Wasp's chauffeur, but why not a white costume? Well, that's about it. That's about all. So long till next ish. And that's from Steve Pollard from San Marino, California.
Couple things here. Good morrow, and then he uses the word ish. He's
Ish.
like kissing ass, but then trying to be cool at the same time.
Which is funny because they don't respond.
Yeah.
Like that's my favorite thing.
Whatever, Steve.
I think Stan is like, I hate these people. I'm not writing to any of them.
I
this
don't
month.
care. I will punch. He probably punched a hole in the wall when he got this. God dang it. And then I had another question.
Go for it.
I don't remember what it was, though.
It was about
I don't know.
Batman.
It was about Batman. Let's talk about Batman for a second. No. Distant one, Joe. For people listening to this for the first time, the reason I read it like that is because in one episode we thought it'd be a good idea to drink and do this, and a guest our guest Schaefer Bonner started reading these, and he kept, every time he read one, he go, Steve.
And just start laughing uncontrollably. Yeah. And it went on for like 10 minutes, I think. He just, Steve.
So that's how we read them all. To a great day. Okay, Avengers Assemble! Oh, what a glorious battle cry that was. But now, what crimes hast thou committed? Nay,
geez, another
what
one.
knavery thou didst, how thou now heart? Can there be naught by lead in thy once golden heart? Canst thou? I'm gonna skip some of this.
This is a really long letter too.
Canst thou undo the metamorphosis of the weak from the powerful? Nay, I knowest the answer. The same reply as the great and noble Caesar didst give upon crossing the Rubicon. What an ass!
I know. I hate this guy.
Attica est, the die is cast. Sest it is true. One canst not turn. Did he go back in a time machine and write this? Turn back, even in retrospect, for if thou doubt. And you know what? I'm going to skip some of this.
You can
Get to the point.
It's really long.
And thus I return from that tangent of importance above, and render my writing unto you at a critique of the magazine known as the Avengers, your coalition of superheroes who are not featured in their own periodicals is definitely a very good idea.
Can I interrupt real quick?
Yes, please.
You notice how he gradually goes out of character as he's writing this?
Yes. Which character that is, I don't know.
An ass.
Yeah. A very good idea. May perhaps you plan to enter the new Black Knight into the Avengers. I would also compliment their powers. One idea you should try to build upon is the Avengers doing special jobs for the government, making them government tools.
Yeah.
No, that's mine. And thus getting involved in the international intrigue of which they should. They should not be kept localized, but become a worldwide power in their fight against the satanic hordes of evil. And so
communist.
And so I take leave of this work, and in this episode, I think I said that right, with 3 famous and far-flung words all the way across from the room, make mine marvel.
That was really good.
That is from Sir Stephen Ryan, Uniondale, New York, Douchebag Street.
Oh, we have his address. It's 339 Green Grove Avenue.
He's probably dead.
I hope so. By the way, I just love how dumb that kid is too. It's like, oh yeah, we want superpowered beings working for the government.
Yeah.
That sounds like
to
really
overthrow
good
it.
idea.
What if they became, I don't know, say the president? Then you have to do whatever they say. No. That's a little weird to say.
Dear Stan, Roy, and John, I write to you because I am greatly concerned about the once greatest fighting team in comicdom, the Mighty Avengers. The original Avengers, in my opinion, were the best collection of super-powered heroes ever. From the overwhelming power of Iron Man, Thor, and the great Captain America came battles to practically overwhelm the senses. Now you broke them all up and replaced them with Hawkeye, the Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, who were all once villains. Ooh, he's right.
Snaps.
And the Black Panther. I do agree with you that you did the best thing in making him an Avenger. We can all agree that the Black Panther is amazing. Even this jerk agrees.
Yeah,
with me.
why we haven't had a movie of the Black Panther yet, I do not know.
I have my theories. Let's see. Now that you almost get rid of Scarlet Witch, turn Quicksilver against humanity. Take Hercules and turn him back to Mount Olympus, where he might not come back in another 1,000,000 years. And who can wait that long? And what do you have now? You have a colossal shrinking man, his insect girlfriend, and a big-mouthed archer who, believe it or not, I don't have anything against. Why are you writing this?
F that guy. I like him.
Besides that, you have another fine mess you've gotten yourselves into. In the midst of this,
Stan
I do
Laurel
strongly suggest you return Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America. I do sincerely hope that the Avengers I do sincerely hope that the Avengers will read as Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Goliath, and the Wasp. Goliath is the third name of Ant-Man. Yeah. The Black Panther and Hawkeye. That's actually a really good lineup. I'm starting to like this kid now. Yeah. And now, as the closing word, I say that the Marvel Age of Comics is the greatest age of comic reading now, forever, and ever. Oh. And that's from Norris Hopkins. From Norris Hopkins from Gary, Indiana. Wow.
That is a good lineup.
Wow. That is.
I would like to see more Black Panther.
I would too. I want to see a Black Panther movie.
Who would be a good Black Panther?
Man, I'm never really good at this game.
If you freaking say Will Smith, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
I wasn't gonna say Will Smith. I don't know. I've never been good at the
Johnny Depp. You know what? Let's just go with Ben Affleck. Make him every superhero.
Johnny Depp. God. You know he'd do it too. You know he'd dress up.
Stupid Johnny Depp. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that day. Johnny Depp's gonna be a superhero character. It's coming. It's coming. It's gonna be somebody.
It might be Black Panther. Yeah. It might be like, well, he'll.
But isn't the Black Panther black? Well, he wears a mask. No one's gonna know.
Let's hope that day never comes.
Oh God, there's a lot of good names and none of them come to me right now.
Yeah, I'm having trouble too. God. See, yeah, I've never been good at the like it doesn't matter.
I think Wesley Snipes 10 years ago would have been good.
No, not as Black Panther.
You don't think so?
No, not at all. No, Black Panther. You gotta have someone who's like, he's a nobleman. He's a nobleman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, from Africa, but he's a nobleman.
Okay.
Like you gotta have someone
class
who's like
and style.
Calm, yeah, calm, collected, cool.
I want to say Flavor Flav. No, the guy from Amistad.
Yeah.
Or better yet, he was in Thor. What's that guy's name?
Oh,
dang it!
Crap. Yeah.
He'd be perfect.
Yeah, he would be good.
God, what's his name? Send in your emails.
Elis Ebris.
Yeah, Ibris.
Ibris. Yeah.
Yeah.
He would be good.
Yeah. Okay.
He could play anything.
I'll call Kevin Smith.
Yeah, call Kevin Smith.
Shit. I wish I could. Okay. Looks like we're running out of time here, so we probably have time for one more.
There's a nice short one right there.
All right, here we are. Where? Well,
short enough.
Just a job. I just finished reading Avengers number 54, and I thought I would drop you a web on your latest masterpiece. The New Masters of Evil, that's actually a pretty awesome name.
It is.
Have to be one of the most demonical groups ever to be assembled in Marveldom. Never would I have thought of making shy, timid Jarvis into a villain like the Crimson Cow. However, one small detail must be cleared up. In Avengers, here we go. See, he does the compliment sandwich where he starts out good, then he just nails him, and then he'll probably say something ass-kissy at the end. Let's see. In Avengers number 48, the Black Knight referred to his mount as Pegasus, while in Avengers 54, the stallion was named Aragorn.
Oh my God, kid.
What happened to Pegasus? Is he molting? Personally, I like Aragorn better as a name for the Black Knight's steed. Especially,
maybe he just is a Pegasus.
Dork. Especially since I've just finished Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. Hopefully, I have now won one of your coveted no prizes. Well, until
Hopefully they'll make a movie in a few years.
Well, until the Black Knight joins the Avengers or gets his own mag, hint, enough said. Jerry Meredith, Mooresville, NC. Well, he didn't come up too ass-kissy.
Wait, hopefully. Yeah, he started kissing Tolkien's ass at the end.
Yeah.
Well, he's not good at the compliment scene.
You know what I think a good no prize is like they get an envelope. Stanley takes his fist and middle finger, ceremoniously puts it in the envelope, stuffs it, and then mails it. But then he takes his hand
get
out.
a picture of Stan Lee's middle finger in the mail.
That would be awesome. Well, now I want to start a business and just call it Masters of Evil.
I know. The Masters of Evil, like, they have a different lineup all the time, but it not originally, like, it had the Black Knight or somebody, and like like the Melter and characters that no one has ever.
The Melter.
He melts things.
Yeah, melt.
But the most famous ones were Baron Zemo. And the Enchantress.
Ah.
The Enchantress.
Masters of Evil.
Yeah, she is a Master of Evil. She's Thor's.
Master of Evil.
Master of Evil.
And other things.
Yeah, she's trying to. Yeah.
She wants to master.
I was actually surprised. I was actually kind of surprised that they weren't going to put the Enchantress in Thor 2.
Maybe they are.
Maybe I haven't heard.
I doubt it.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised they're going with the Malekith instead, but
yeah,
I guess it works because it's like, okay, like, because in a way the Enchantress is kind of similar to Loki, except instead of being his brother, that's his ex-lover who now wants to kill everyone. I mean, it's the same. For a comic, it's different, but for a movie sequel, it'd be too similar. I guess.
Too similar.
But if they got someone hot to play her, I mean, it doesn't matter.
No.
Does not.
Does not.
Well,
James.
Any closing words?
Well, let's argue for 2 minutes. No. Let's have a just drop out fight, just fist fight.
Let's go.
Let's go. I guess. Did you get to see World's End?
No, I'm probably gonna see it on Labor Day. I wish I did. You see it?
No.
Yeah.
I've heard good.
I work 2 jobs, so I don't have to.
That does suck.
It does.
And then you do this. This is like a third job.
It is. A lot of work goes into this.
Huge. Oh, I think we had another fantastic episode.
I think this is our best episode.
Yeah.
They're all our best episodes.
We're getting better, folks. Stay tuned. Well, I invite any comments. Like, I think coming up, we're going to join Reggie again on Reggie's Take, and we're going to talk about Batfleck.
Eventually, he'll be on our show, too.
Yeah. He's not a big comic book guy. I don't know what we'll talk about, but we'll talk about something.
Probably NASCAR.
He says he has Star Trek comics, so
he does.
We have that to look forward to. Cool. And he's even teased us about maybe doing James coming on his show and doing a point counterpoint, arguing Marvel. Something.
I took debate class in college.
Be afraid. Whoever he brings in front of us is going to get destroyed. So.
Yeah. So
I think that's be fun. Yeah. We've got some other ideas coming up. Stay tuned for those.
Eventually, we're going to get to that Spider-Man rock opera.
Yes.
I have to get it first.
Okay.
I've just heard it. My friend had it. But yeah, we've got a good show, I guess. Yeah. And thanks, Scott, for being such a good sport.
Yeah. We love you, Scott. We like poking fun at you, though, because you're crazy.
We really like poking fun at you, Scott.
Because you're insane. And I was going to add something, and I lost it.
Well, this has been True Believers. This has been another exciting episode, and we hope you'll be with us next week. Stay tuned.